Jesus Christ be praised.
You look like you've got a lot on your plate, Master Bailiff. Is work keeping you busy?
Busy? I've had so many visitors, I wouldn't wonder if the door fell off its hinges.
What's going on?
I've been given the task of putting some of the Skalitz refugees to work. It's not that there's a shortage of jobs, the problem's sharing them out fairly.
I understand. Everyone has mouths to feed.
The worst part is they won't tell you who really needs a job the most, but you might be able to help, Henry.
How?
They're like to be more honest with you, so you can find out who's in the most need. And you can decide for yourself who'll do what. Will you help?
If you need help, I'll do whatever I can.
You're a godsend. I'm sure it won't take too long. You know how the refugees are getting on, don't you? But ask around if you need to find out more.
What kind of work are we talking about?
Well, old Hagen is looking for a cook, and we need 5 carriers.
A cook and 5 water carriers. Sounds simple enough. Is there a problem?
A little. We need 3 water carriers, but the other 2 will have to carry, begging your pardon, shit. Or as the Pope would say, excrement.
Is there anyone who can tell me more about it?
Yes, the merchant Conrad Hagen is the one looking for a cook, so you can talk to him. And young Alex will know which of the Skalitz folk are best suited to the job.
How come that's such a cause for concern?
For one thing, they're afraid of me, and I can't get a straight answer out of any of them. So how the hell am I supposed to make the right choice?
Oh, they're desperate. You can't blame them.
I don't, but I might end up picking some good-for-nothing who'll just booze his wages away.
Can you tell me anything more about the cook?
You'll have to ask Hagen yourself. I couldn't get a straightforward answer out of him. Maybe he's changed his mind.
What do I need to know about the water carriers?
We need 3. Right now, some of the burgers' hands are doing the job.
And they need to go all the way down to the river for water.
Of course, where else would they get it? Gallows Hill? It's not an easy job, but someone has to do it.
What can you tell me about the other carriers?
It's dirty, but it's a job that needs to be done. There'll be more than enough work for them. Some places are overflowing.
Sounds disgusting. Why would anyone want the job?
If all else fails, I'll pay 2 groschen for every 1 I pay the water carriers. That might convince someone.
That's all I need to know.
Good luck, then.
Fresh bread.
God be with you.
I'd like to ask about our former neighbours. There are jobs here for some of them, and I have to pick people.
The bailiff told me about it. He still wants our people to do the knacker's job?
But what of it? It will benefit everyone.
Not everyone. There's not enough work for everyone, and no one wants to do the knacker's job.
Good people, come up close.
But having a job could save someone's life.
Water carrying, maybe. But if they have to do a job that's not fit for a decent person, only for the knacker or the executioner's servant?
So you think there's no point in it? That it's better to beg than have a job, even if it is hauling shit?
You forget that that's a job for the knacker's hired hand, not for displaced people. When we return to Skalitz, they'll never be able to rid themselves of the stink.
Fresh from the oven. Come and get them.
So, do you know who's most in need of some coin and is fit for hard work?
Everyone's in need of coin, but not everyone is fit for such work.
Who should I talk to then? Where will I find them?
I'll talk to them myself and send them to meet you in front of the Rathaus, so they'll all be in one place. It'll take me a while, though.
I'm also looking for a cook. Do you know of a good cook who's looking for work?
Well, there's Agnes. I've heard she can cook better than anyone. Only...
Well, what's the problem? Did something happen to her?
No, it's just that I haven't seen her around here for ages. I believe she's cooking for the local parish priest and living at the presbytery. So I don't think she's in need of work.
Thanks.
Bread.
I'll
Come
go.
and get it. Man cannot live by bread alone, but he can't live without it either.
I noticed some of the Skalitz men look like they've been in the wars. Has something happened here?
There's a local brawler who takes on all comers for bets. If you beat him, you get some silver. If you lose, you have to do his job for him.
Oh, I'll have to look into that.
Baked goods
How are you
fresh
coping?
from the oven. Come and get them.
As well as we can, Henry. You can be glad Sir Radzig took you into his service. I hear you even go hunting with Lord Capon.
I've been once. And I don't think it'll be happening again anytime soon.
Ah, it's a shame. Because I was going to ask a favor of you. I'm sure you know there's a lot of hungry mouths here, so I thought you
Let it
might
bake
be
a
able to
bit,
help.
You'll be able to feed the whole family with fresh bread.
I don't know. I'm not such a great hunter that I could feed all the refugees.
No, that's not what I meant. It's the townspeople here who have a taste for game. They want to live like the nobility, see?
Bread,
A few of the
fresh
burgers
bread,
have been to see me already,
bread,
to ask if we'd try our luck in the woods.
pretzels for you.
They promised us supplies in exchange. Flour, lard, eggs, and the like. But we can't afford to take the risk of poaching. We're barely tolerated as it is. If one of ours got caught in the woods, they'd hang him from the nearest tree. But I was thinking, you're in Sir Radzig's garrison, and you go hunting with Sir Hans. You could help us.
Well, I got away with brawling with Lord Capon, so I don't suppose they'll string me up for a few hares.
Great, Henry. I really appreciate it. The local tailor was asking me about getting some hares to put on a feast for a visiting merchant.
All right, I'll bring you something.
Thank you. You'll be saving us from starvation.
With salt, caraway seeds, garlic.
In our distress, but deliver us from perils. God be with you.
Are you Agnes, who works at St. James?
I am. Or I did, before those devils rolled in and burnt down Skalitz. Why do you ask?
I'm looking for a good cook and housekeeper, and everyone I asked sent me to you.
I've been blessed by God.
So it seems. Anyway, the local merchant wants someone who can cook food fit for nobility and take care of his household.
Well, Father Francis was very fond of good food, but I can't just go serve someone else.
Why not?
Because I'm still Father Francis's housekeeper.
But I heard he fled and isn't coming back.
Don't pay any attention. They're just rumors. I'm still his housekeeper.
Where's Father Francis now?
I don't know. The last time I saw him, he was going to confession in Sasau. But that was before all these terrible things happened. I've heard no word of him since then.
Does he go to Sasau often? Where does he stay when he's there?
Not so often. About once a month. He always used to stay in the inn near the monastery, so he wouldn't have far to go.
I'll ask around about what happened to Father Francis. I'll let you know.
Good luck then.
Yeah.
Fucker. I can see you're not... Blood will be spilt. Ow! You call that... Dear God.
Watch where you're going, you louse. Kunda! Ow! Stop!
Winter, fight before someone else does.
From a rose bush!
Father, when do you plan to return to St. James?
I beg your pardon. Why do you ask, my boy?
Your housekeeper, Agnes, is in Rattay and doesn't want to work for anyone else. She's waiting for your return.
So she survived. Thank the Lord. I prayed for her and all who suffered, but I'm not going back. Tell her I appreciate her concern, but to look out for herself now.
Take care now. I know you. I know you from somewhere. Where do I know
Have a look at
you
these
from?
cucumbers.
What?
They'll stay firm all winter.
Of course,
Fight before
my
someone else does.
dream. You were in a boat made of bones, and I put a crown of thorns on your head.
All right. Tell me about this dream of yours.
That dream. Yes, that dream has come true. I dreamt that a young man would become my apprentice, my own pupil in the trade of miracles.
And that's supposed to be me?
Who else? What's your name, young man?
Asparagus, they'll cut you in half. And cucumbers,
Henry.
that'll cure
Henry.
what ails you. Come get them.
A powerful name. So, Henry, are you ready to become my apprentice?
First, tell me, who are you and what do you do?
Me? I am an unworthy, low, and miserable servant of Providence.
Garlic,
Scholar
carrots,
or merchant?
beetroot, onions,
Believer
all that
or
comes to the
heathen.
ground fresh.
I
Come
wander
right
the
up.
world without home or family, with only my wagon, offering miracles to those that need them. That's who I am. Without home or kin, I wander this world with my wagon, providing the
Vegetables,
miracles that
fruit,
people
apples,
need.
cucumbers,
Ointments,
onions.
relics.
Come get them.
Aromatic herbs, rare spices, talismans and amulets for luck. All these things I have.
What exactly does it entail, becoming
Onions
your
that'll even
apprentice?
make your man
A
joy
lot
like
of
a
work and
little
strenuous
laugh.
labor.
Come and buy some.
Knowledge of medicine, theology, and white magic. You have to study the great works of the ancients and devote your time to understanding your fellow men, listening to them, and learn to read their souls.
Cucumbers.
That's a
some
pretty challenging
cucumbers,
task.
asparagus and
That's
fruit.
why God has sent you. So what do you say?
All right, I'll be your apprentice.
Wonderful! Oh, glorious day! I have a
Garlic soup for the
successor in my
winter,
work.
onion soup
So,
for the
how
spring,
do you plan to start
asparagus
training
for
me?
taste,
With a
and
test
for what
of
ails
your
you.
practical
Try them.
skills.
Oh,
I have my eye on 3 rare objects of great value, but sadly they're a little difficult to obtain.
Have a look at these
but just so we're
cucumbers.
clear, I'm not
They'll
stealing
stay
anything
firm
for
all
you.
winter.
Who said
Fight
anything about
before someone
stealing?
else does.
But you said these are valuable things you're after. I don't suppose you can just pick them up anywhere.
Valuable for me because I know their power and strength. For an ordinary mortal, they barely mean anything.
Oh, well, that's fine then.
First, I need a tooth of Saint
Carrots that'll
Procopius.
make you and your family
Then I'll need a
happy.
branch from a
Onions
topping
that'll
out
make
hung
you
on a
cry,
church.
and garlic that'll
And
make
finally,
people
a
very
talisman
happy.
for luck. I'm a passionate player.
Bloody hell, that's a lot. All right, one thing at a time. About that tooth, it's going to be slightly more complicated, isn't it?
I know. Yes, it would be very difficult to gain such a rare relic, of course. That's why I have an alternative solution.
I'm listening.
A layman named Procopius lives by the monastery, and it just so happens, thanks to my intricate medical knowledge, that I found out he has a sick tooth.
Vegetables, fresh vegetables. Look, smell.
How did you find out he has a sore tooth?
As it happens, he told me at the tavern. But that's not important.
And how am I supposed to get the tooth?
I haven't the faintest idea. You'll have to think of something. But maybe you'll be able to persuade him to let the blacksmith pull it.
Wouldn't that be swindling people?
It is, and it isn't. If I sell that tooth as the tooth of Saint Procopius, then it certainly is deceitful. But if I sell it as a tooth from Procopius of Sasau, then I'm cheating nobody.
Does it really matter whose tooth I bring then?
Of course it does. The name Procopius in this holy land is shrouded with mystical powers. Sometimes I might play a trivial trick on someone, but I assure you, I'm no swindler.
Fine, I'll get it from him.
Wonderful.
This topping out, what's that?
You're not a carpenter, it seems.
No, I'm a blacksmith.
I see. Well, a topping out is a decorated spruce or a conifer tree hung on top of the roof of a new house to bring good fortune and God's blessing.
Well, then all we need to do is break off a branch somewhere, buy a few ribbons, and we've got our own homemade topping out right there.
You don't understand, young man. The topping out was sanctified by a priest, and it hangs on the highest church far and wide. You can't just replace it with a decorated branch.
Fair enough.
Cucumbers, lovely cucumbers.
That topping off is hung pretty high, isn't it?
Naturally. It hangs on the rooftop according to tradition, and the church is tall.
And how am I supposed to get it down?
Damned if I know. But they had to get it up there somehow, didn't they?
Very well, I'll get it. This player's talisman, where am I supposed to find it?
I actually have a specific one in mind. Here at the inn, there's a dice player who always has a cat's paw with him. That's supposed to bring him luck.
A cat's paw? I thought players bring along a rabbit's paw for luck.
Garlic, carrots,
I thought so too.
onions.
But this man is winning one game after another, so cats are clearly even more powerful than rabbits.
Oh. How am I supposed to get the talisman from him?
I haven't a clue. It won't be easy, but I'm sure you'll find a way.
We'll see.
Garlic
Very
soup
well.
for the winter,
I'll get you the
onion
paw.
soup for the spring, asparagus for
I'll get
spring,
looking for those things then.
for what ails you.
Excellent!
Try
You
that.
do that, my journeyman. Good luck.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
It doesn't look good.
What? What are you talking about?
Your tooth. I bet it hurts a lot, doesn't it?
How do you know about that?
As a practitioner of the healing arts, I recognize the signs of a sick tooth. You have a bloated face, you're sweating, and the way you breathe is absolutely typical of the condition.
You're a physician?
Isn't that what I said? And if I can give you some advice, you should have it removed. There's a blacksmith down in the town.
No. There's no way I'm putting myself in the hands of that butcher.
I understand. But look here, I know about healing. I can go along with you and make sure everything goes as it should.
You do that?
Of course.
Jesus Christ. I'm a grown man and I need an escort.
You don't have to be embarrassed. Every man in the world's afraid of having his teeth pulled.
I know, but even so...
Let's go then, and get this over with.
My respects to you.
The Lady of Talmberg sent me. She wants me to find out why the crown's been delayed.
Through no fault of ours, I can tell you that. We had a large stone ordered for mounting on the crown, a beautiful Moldavite from South Bohemia that we had cut and polished in Prague. But, well, in short, the good merchant, Martin Vizek, who was supposed to bring it from Prague, got lost along the way. It's like the ground swallowed him up.
Well, Lady Stephanie won't be happy.
Look, we've got something else here we can replace the stone with, but I'm sure even you can see it's not worthy of a noble wedding, and definitely not worthy of our fine craftsmanship. Oh, if I only had someone who'd try to find the Moldavite.
Why don't you just ask me? Of course I'll try to find the stone. Just tell me where the fellow was seen last.
That fellow, as you call him, the esteemed merchant, Martin Vizek, was last seen riding alongside the Sasau River, passing by the footbridge over the ford, to the west of here. Evidently, he never made it to Sasau town.
Well, I'll look for him, but he could be far over the mountains by now. Or under the ground.
Farewell.
It will hurt a little, but then you'll feel relieved. You'll see.
If you say so.
Dear again.
Well, I never. Henry!
Hey!
Henry!
I'm glad to see you.
Matthew! Fritz! You're alive!
Of course we're alive.
You can't get rid of us that easily.
I'm almost surprised how happy I am to see the pair of you are all right.
We are now, but we barely made it.
Yeah, it was hard. Fritz ran like a little girl.
Really?
Bollocks! Bloody joker.
Tell us what happened to you.
They gave me a pretty good thrashing as well. It was only in Rattay that I got back in my right mind.
You're not doing too well either, are you?
Right now, I'm a squire for Sir Radzig.
I see you've worked your way up.
And how are you two getting by?
It's shit.
You said it. We're still chopped off to bits. Owe the monastery a bundle. And there's no work here.
Not for anyone with more than half a brain, anyway.
Well, you two and work never got along. But don't tell me that they're not in need of carpenters. They're reconstructing the monastery.
They don't want us there.
And there's nothing else around here.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to know of anything?
It will really help us out right now.
Well, I can ask around, but I'm not promising anything.
Thanks, Henry.
We'll pay off the debt, don't you worry.
What other neighbours of ours made it?
Your hunker's in the monastery. That girl really helped us out. That's about all we know. When we ran for it, we helped Teresa, but who knows where she is now? We got separated.
I owe my life to Teresa.
God save you.
She hauled me unconscious to the mill in Rattay and nursed me back to health.
I'm glad she survived. Since you know her so well, why not try asking her if she knows about any work?
And where would they hire you to?
Well, we were carpenters in the mines, so wherever they work with wood, I suppose. Forget about construction. After Skalitz, no one will be building for a long time. Just here in Sasau, and they don't want us here. The best chance we have is to work at a mill. People always have to eat. Ideally, we're looking for a job that pays a lot and doesn't require much work. I'll be with you.
Are you mad? It won't go away, it'll just get worse. The sooner we get it out, the better.
Yes, you're right. It's embarrassing. I'm a coward and I won't be able to handle it.
We're almost there. Just be a man about it.
You're right. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. Hold him tight.
Let's do it.
look.
Jesus
It's
Christ,
out.
the agony.
Hey, want to keep it as a
What
memento?
did I do to
I love it.
deserve this?
Oh, all right.
Johanka?
Henry?
I'm glad to see you.
Me too. I heard that you're doing well.
Well, that depends.
You're alive. So you're doing well.
What's happening here? Oh my god. Philip and... they're all...
Yes. Where do you think the wounded ended up?
Actually, I had no idea.
Well, now you know. Me and Nicodemus have been trying to keep things under control since Skalitz was raised. Just the two of us.
So can I help at all?
Certainly. We can always use an extra pair of hands here. And it's been like that since the beginning.
I was in a bad way myself back then. They took me to Ratai unconscious, and I needed a healer. How is everyone holding up? What can I do?
Holding up? People here are dying, usually needlessly, and I can't do anything about it. We don't have enough food or space or anyone who's willing to help us.
Doesn't anyone help you with nursing these people? You've got scholars all around you.
Scholars, maybe, but they leave the healing up to God. Nicodemus is trying, but everything he knows is from his books.
Can I have a look at them myself? I know a little about healing.
Do you now? And what would you do if you burnt yourself at the forge?
First, you have to cool it down with water. Marigold ointment helps, and it's better if you don't bind it and let it breathe.
You do know what you're talking about. Looks like blacksmiths know about more than just pulling teeth.
Pulling teeth? Nothing to it. As long as you don't squeeze the pincers too hard and crush them.
Well, go and see if anyone needs anything. Just don't go pulling anyone's teeth.
Doesn't the monastery care for them?
They give us some food for them and a place to sleep, but I wouldn't say they help exactly. More like they just tolerate us.
Do you have enough food?
Enough to survive, maybe, but convalescents need feeding up.
Maybe if I brought some meat, some game, that would strengthen them up.
That would be a great help.
Anything else you need?
Look around.
Well, it is a little crowded.
Crowded? I've had to leave some of the sick lying in the open air, even at night. And have you seen what they're lying on?
I'll try to negotiate better conditions with the monastery.
I tried that, out loud. They just nod their heads, but don't move a muscle.
Very well. And how are you doing? You're the only woman here, alone in the monastery.
Some of the monks speak to me, but other people act like I don't exist. Too bad the custodian isn't one of those.
Is the custodian causing you problems?
All the time. Apparently he has a wife somewhere, but that doesn't stop him. He's constantly strutting around in front of me.
And, what else?
What do you mean, what else? He's invited me to his home.
I could do something about it, if you liked.
No, I can deal with him. The last thing I need is you going around threatening people. It won't help me, and it definitely won't help the refugees.
Why is there a guard outside?
He's here because of me.
Because of you?
Yes. There was one time I just had enough of it all, of the way they treat us, and I almost slapped one of... But that doesn't matter.
What can you tell me about the custodian?
He's supposed to be in charge of all the guards and the security of the monastery. But really, he has a say in pretty much everything, including supplies. And that's why he probably thinks he can do whatever he wants.
All right, that's all I need to know.
Look, Henry, I know I can speak harshly, but I'm at the end of my tether. Last week Bohuslav died. Maybe you knew him. And nobody even blinked an eye. We desperately need help.
I'll do whatever's in my power. Everything here is fine? These wounds have been well taken care of? Everything here is fine?
Christ above! I can't get a wink of sleep.
What are you making such a fuss about?
A fuss? Because of my leg, I have to stay here for at least another week. Hurts like fuck. And with everyone else moaning and groaning all night, I can't get any sleep.
Maybe I can make you something to help you sleep.
Oh, then for God's sake, do it quickly.
God be with you.
I'm not needed here.
What will happen to my family?
He's still breathing, but he probably won't wake up again. Philip, from Skalitz. I don't see any wounds, but he's shaking terribly.
What will happen to my family?
He's not reacting. But all I can see that's wrong with him is his leg. I have to ask Johanka. Everything here is fine?
What do you want?
You're not from Skalitz?
No, but please help me. I can't stay here.
What happened to you?
I was working on the building when the scaffolding up by the roof collapsed underneath me.
Well, and you're very lucky you survived at all.
Yes, that's what everyone tells me. But it's no use being alive if all I can do is lie here like a wet sack of barley. I won't get any sleep. I just won't get
What's
any
the problem?
sleep.
Why can't you stay until you heal?
I have a family. I'm poor. It's only thanks to the building work that we can survive. And the master told me if I don't come back in a few days, then I shouldn't come back at all. And where can me and my wife go then? Who'll take us in? We'll end up living in the woods, where any bandit or ruffian could set on us.
Is there anything I can do to help? It looks like they took care of your wounds.
When I was little, my father got trampled on by a horse, and an old hag from the village gave him some kind of purple herbs for it. And he got better very quickly.
And do you remember what the herbs were?
I don't. But there's supposed to be the whole cursed knowledge of the world in this place. Something has to be written about it. A herbarium, anything.
I'll try to find something.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can't.
Farewell.
Just can't.
Huh? Shit. What's going on?
You look all right?
Mostly, but my leg still hurts.
Did the Cumans wound you?
That's what I tell the ladies. Truth is, I did myself a mischief while I was running away.
And do they rebandage it for you?
Occasionally. They told me they don't have enough bandages.
Well, that's no use. Those bandages need changing. I'll get some.
Farewell.
He just needs to sleep. He just needs to sleep. I'm not needed here. You're the one who's in charge of the wounded.
Yes, I'm the infirmarius here. Time was I only had a few elderly monks who couldn't walk to take care of. Now I have this mess to deal with.
Monks so old they can't hold themselves up with their own legs.
Oh, if that were the only bodily function they could control. But I shouldn't talk like that. It's a blessing to live to such an age.
How about some potion to induce heavy sleep?
Certainly. The old reliable.
Reliable?
I just won't get any sleep.
Some of the brothers like a good sleep. And sometimes that's the only way to get one. I'll show you how.
Thanks. What happened to Philip?
Philip?
He's unconscious.
He's shivering and he has a fever.
Ah, I didn't know that. When he first came here, he was fine. No wounds on him. He was escorting the others. Then he got worse and worse until he lost consciousness entirely. Ask Johanka. Maybe she'll know more.
Do you know anything about herbs?
I'm not an expert, but I know a little something. Is it urgent?
Well, one of the workers who was injured during construction would like to get back to work. He mentioned some purple flowers that would...
Herbs.
Oh, purple herbs that should help.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but you can have a look in the herbarium here. There won't be too many purple herbs for bruises and sprains.
Why are they so badly provided for? People are crammed in next to each other, and some have to sleep outside. That can't be good for them. It gets freezing here at night.
I can't afford anything more for them.
How is that possible? You're the infirmarius. You decide how all the money gets spent.
But I have no say in how much money I'm given. And because the abbot's away, it's still the same amount I had when I was taking care of a few old men.
And the local custodian? His crew has enough provisions.
I tried him, but it seems he had some disagreement with Johanka, and now he won't give us anything.
I'll try to talk to him. Even so, conditions here seem to me quite unchristian.
You're not the only one.
I just won't get any sleep.
Huh? What do you want?
I have the bandages.
Wonderful. Could you tell Brother Nicodemus?
I can do it myself.
I thought you were a blacksmith.
A long time ago. But unfortunately, I've had to learn a thing or two about the art of medicine since then.
Well, fine then. Take care. Where? What's happening?
How are you feeling?
Good. It feels clean. Hope it helps.
It will. Tell them to rebandage you daily. You have the bandages here.
Thank you very much, Henry.
Don't mention it.
Good luck to you.
What are the...
Can't. I just can't.
Hopefully I have what you need.
Thank you. With any luck, I'll soon be feeling better. If you find the time, stop by to see me in a few days.
May the Lord watch over you.
I can't sleep again. I just can't.
can't sleep again.
I've got something for you.
Really?
Drink this, and you'll fall straight to sleep.
Oh, thank you. Farewell.
Dear Mistress Johanka, I come again in admiration of your selfless dedication. I would like to invite you to a fine banquet at my palace. You certainly have earned some... What business have you here, fellow? Who let you in?
I'm taking care of the wounded, as I'm sure you're aware.
Ah. Well then, run along and take care of them, and let me talk to Johanka. You're not needed here.
Wouldn't it be better to have the banquet here, custodian?
What?
You admire Johanka's self-sacrifice. I'm sure she appreciates the same quality in others.
Ah, yes. Quite. I was just thinking the same. I'll have some food brought here.
God be with you, Henry.
What happened to Philip?
Poor man. There was nothing wrong with him, and now he's getting worse every day.
But do you know why?
Maybe. He didn't run away from Skalitz, you see. He hid for days, among the corpses. If he got poisoned.
But what can we do?
Us? Nothing. Only Father Simon might have been able to save him. He knew a lot about poisons.
And where is he?
You know he left Skalitz years ago.
And does anyone know where he ended up?
If you believe the stories about a wild man in the woods, then Rovnar is the place to go.
What's wrong with that man by the altar? He doesn't look wounded, but he's really pale and doesn't react at all.
He had a broken leg. A bad one. The bone had come right through the skin. We tried to straighten it, but I don't know if we did it right. I'm not holding out much hope for him. I've seen folk in that state before, and it didn't end well.
My God, there has to be something we can do.
And what do you suggest? The monks won't help, and I don't know anyone else who can.
Well, I can try. I'll straighten his leg.
You?
Unfortunately, I've had occasion to try this sort of thing before. You have to place the bones as precisely as you can next to each other. It's hard, but you have to ignore any screams of pain. That's the only way to help him.
Well, fine. Try it then.
That custodian Sebastian is really obnoxious.
He can be unpleasant, but in his own way. I don't know.
You can't be serious.
What's that supposed to mean? At least he was here, unlike you, the whole time. And anyway, mind your own business.
Take care.
Are you holding him firmly?
Aye.
Done.
Welcome, Henry.
For the love of God! What have you been doing?
I brought some meat.
Thank you, Henry. Rich food will definitely help. God be with you.
God save you.
I'm helping at the infirmary now, and I came to...
Ah, and how is Johanka? Do you know her well?
Yes, I do.
Good, good. Does she ever talk about me?
Sometimes. A little.
That's good. Excellent. Johanka means a lot to me.
I'm mainly here for supplies and to talk about the state of the wounded from Skalitz. They need blankets, food...
Well, that's not my problem. Let the infirmarius take care of it.
His hands are tied. Until the abbot comes back, he can't get anything.
And why should that interest me?
Maybe because of Johanka.
What precisely are you getting at?
She has a kind heart. Everyone can see how deeply she cares about the wounded. If you help her selflessly, it'll win her over. She's bound to be impressed.
Maybe you're right. It will cost me something, but I'll discuss it with Nicodemus. I should be able to help in some way. God be with you.
Jesus Christ be praised.
You must be that lucky fellow everyone's talking about.
Lady Luck has been good to me lately, sure enough. But that can change quicker than you know.
People say that you get help from a lucky charm.
Is that not allowed?
No, it is. It just interests me, that's all.
Why?
I'll buy it from you.
You want to buy my cat paw? You're joking.
No, I'm not. I'll buy it. How much do you want for it?
See? In the end, it brought me more luck than I thought.
Thanks.
Take care now.
Pour me one.
Feels better than a frost.
Good health to you.
I went to look for those items you wanted.
Splendid, splendid. So show me what you've got there.
The tooth of layman Procopius, which definitely isn't holy.
It isn't. But then again, one day it could be. You never know what course a man's life might take.
I suppose not. But it wasn't easy to get, so if anyone's the miracle worker here, it's me.
Calm now, don't exaggerate.
One cat paw for luck?
I'll have a beer.
Marvelous. Let's just hope it brings us luck as well.
A branch from a blessed topping out.
Excellent. And how did you get it down?
I had to shoot it down.
Watch out for this man. He's a regular William Tell.
Well, there wasn't any other way.
So, we've got all that sorted out. And now, to the next matter.
Go on. I'm shaking with anticipation.
There's one more thing. It's rather complicated and, delicate.
What thing?
A shroud.
A shroud?
Yes. A burial shroud of someone who passed away not too long ago.
I'm just supposed to take a dead person's clothes?
Christ, no. I need a burial shroud. The precious enveloping garment in which the deceased is buried.
And does it matter who I take it from?
It needs to be someone who lived an honest life. And I have just the fellow. A good man by the name of Lokota who recently passed on.
Right. So where can I find him?
His family is waiting for the funeral. For now, he's lying in the small church in Sassa.
And who was this Lokota?
I know only a little, but according to the locals, he was an honorable man. You should certainly try to ask around. God be with you.
God be with you. What can I do for you?
Can I sleep here?
All right. For how long?
Just the one night.
All right. Money up front, though.
Here you go.
You've got it all to yourself. No one will disturb you.
Who's the man who died? The one who's lying in the church?
Oh, that was old Lokota. He was a respectable fella.
And how did he make a living?
He was a butcher of some renown in the region.
Was he a local?
Oh no, he came here from Vlashim because of an argument with his brother. We weren't too keen on him at first. He strayed took customers away from our old butcher, you see. But we soon realized he was a decent man, and we all grew to love him.
It's a sad loss. What about his family?
His wife, Lucy, passed away a long time ago. Poor soul. He was never the same since then. He never laughed from the heart anymore. But he's left 2 sons behind, Peter and Mark.
What are his sons like?
Oh, they sturdy men. Sturdy and straightforward. Mind you, Peter doesn't have any sense of humor that you'd notice. He takes everything as seriously as a sermon. Mark's a more open sort, and a little superstitious, but don't make fun of him.
Thank you. That's all I needed to know. Where do I go to sleep?
On the upper floor of the inn. There are steps up to it outside. The second door. Take care.